very tough. It's very strong, and it's everything the Border Patrol wanted. And I didn't want to have a wall that was going to be an inferior wall, and I felt this was going to be an inferior wall.
Chris Kobach says you endorsed the wall. Is that true?
I didn't know that. I didn't know about Bannon's involvement, but I didn't know the other people. But I do think it's a sad event. And again, Steve has had a great career at Goldman Sachs. He's had a career with a lot of other people. I haven't dealt with him at all over years now, literally years. And I guess this was a project he was involved in, but it was something that, in fact, you can see I made statements about it a long time ago. It was something that I very much felt was inappropriate to be doing. Okay.
Mr. President, how do you
Please,
see...
go ahead.
Mr. President.
No, go ahead, please.
Yeah. Mr. President, the end of the militia roles in Iraq is one of the very important issues to stabilize the country in Iraq. How America is going to support ending the militia role in Iraq?
You're very hard to understand. Could you maybe help me with that? Wait, go ahead, try it again.
الولايات المتحدة الأمريكية ساعدت العراق كثيرا في الحرب ضد داعش وساعدت في إسقاط نظام صدام حسين. نحمل على عمل علاقات مشتركة بين العراق وأمريكا تعتمد على المبدأ الاقتصادي والمصالح المشتركة من أجل مستقبل أفضل لشعب العراق ومستقبل العراق. شكرا جزيلا.
The United States helped Iraq enormously in defeating ISIS and also in toppling the Saddam Hussein regime. We are working on building a strong relationship that is based on joint interest between Iraq and the United States, that is based on economic interest for the better future of the Iraqi people and the United States people.
When we came into office, ISIS was running rampant all over Iraq and Syria, and we knocked out the 100% of the ISIS caliphate. But the Obama administration did a very, very poor job. They were running rampant all over. And we came in and we did a real job, and we got rid of that, and that was a good thing. And now we're working with Iraq. They use the great American dollar, which is the most powerful currency in the world, and they're starting to do well. And we are with them, and this gentleman in particular, we've developed a very good relationship, and hopefully it's going to be very strong for your country.
Mr. President. Thank you, Mr. President. There have been 32 attacks. There have been 32 attacks in the last 10 months on U.S. interest in Iraq, particularly in the Green Zone and U.S. military bases. How are you going to help Iraq to halt these attacks by pro-Iranian militia and to hold these people accountable? And sir, if I may also, there is some reporting that the U.S. troops will withdraw from Iraq totally in 3 years. Is this true?
So at some point, we obviously will be gone. We've brought it down to a very, very low level. We deal when there are attacks. We take care of those attacks, and we take care of them very easily. Nobody has the weaponry we have. Nobody has the anything of what we have. We have the finest, the greatest military in the world. When somebody hits us, we hit back harder than they hit us. So we handle it. In addition to that, Iraq has been very helpful where necessary. But we have been taking our troops out of Iraq fairly rapidly, and we look forward to the day when we don't have to be there, and hopefully Iraq can live their own lives and they can defend themselves, which they've been doing long before we got involved. Yes, please.
Mr. President, how do you see the role of the Kurds in Iraq?
About the bounties. You say you hit back hard, but we haven't seen any definitive strike back for bounties upon Americans.
Well, you don't know about the bounties. I mean, you're telling me if you know something, you can let us know, but you obviously don't know very much about it. But if we found out that would be true, if we found that would be a very, it would be a fact, what you just said, we would hit them so hard your head would spin. Go ahead.
Mr. President, how do you see the role of the Kurds in Iran? And how is the important relationship between Baghdad and Erbil?
Well, the Kurds helped us greatly in defeating the, as you know, the ISIS and getting the ISIS, 100% of the ISIS caliphate. So we have a very good relationship with the Kurds, and we've also treated them very well.
Mr. President,
yes, please.
Yeah. The end of the militia rules in Iraq is very important to stabilize the country. How America can help ending the militia rules, and how can help Iraq in the democracy process?
Well, what we're doing is we're helping where we can. But again, that's a country, that's a separate country. They have a prime minister and they have people in office and they have to run their country. We've been in Iraq for a long time. I won't say whether or not I said we should be there, but frankly, I didn't think it was a good idea. But I was a civilian, so who's going to listen to me? But I made my point pretty clear, I guess as clear as a civilian can do it. But we were there, and now we're getting out. We'll be leaving shortly, and the relationship is very good. We're making very big oil deals. Our oil companies are making massive deals, and that's basically the story. I mean, we're very happy with the relationship that we've developed over the last couple of years. I thought before that, frankly, the United States was being taken advantage of, but we're going to be leaving, and hopefully we're going to be leaving a country that can defend itself.
Mr. President, on the troops, Mr. President.
In the United States, there were airstrikes on northern Iraq and Kurdistan region, killing one civilian. I know in your talks, in your meetings here, you talk a lot about the sovereignty of Iraq. Is that something that you're looking for help from the United States? And Mr. President, if that's something if Iraq is asking for help in terms of the interference from the neighbors, not just Iran, but other neighbors where they're attacking northern Iraq?
Well, they'll have to make a specific request, but certainly the Prime Minister has my ear. So if he does that, we'll take a look. They do have, it's a very unstable part of the world. And I'm not talking about Iraq. I'm talking about the whole of the Middle East. It's a very, very unstable part of the world. But we're there to help, and because of the relationship, we would certainly be willing to lend you the kind of support that you need.
بكل تأكيد الاعتداءات التركية على العراق مرفوضة، والدستور العراقي كذلك لن يسمح للعراق بأن يكون منطلق لتهديد أي من جيراننا. بكل تأكيد عندنا حوار مع الأتراك لتصحيح هذا الوضع، ونتوقع أن حل هذه المشكلة فيما يخص السيادة العراقية، أنه الأتراك سوف يتفهمون ظروف العراق، وكذلك لن نسمح لأي طرف كان يهدد أي من جيراننا بخصوص الدستور العراقي يركز على أنه العراق لن يسمح أن يكون هناك تهديد منطلقا من أراضيه بكل تأكيد.
Definitely the Turkish attacks are not accepted. On the other hand, the Iraqi constitution also does not allow Iraq to become used to attack any neighboring country. We are entering dialogue with Turkey to rectify this situation, and I look forward to solving this problem with Turkey and getting our neighbors, the Turks, to understand Iraq's circumstances. But once again, the Iraqi constitution does not allow Iraqi territory to be used to attack any neighboring country.
I will say this, the United States, and me in particular, has a very good relationship with Turkey and with President Erdogan, and we'll be talking to him. But we have a very, very good relationship with Turkey and with President Erdogan.
Mr. President, just to follow up on the troops question, sir, do you have a time frame for the full and complete withdrawal of U.S. troops from Iraq?
Mike, what would you say to that?
As soon as we complete the mission, the President's made very clear he wants to get our forces down to the lowest level as quickly as we possibly can. That's the mission he's given us, and we're working with the Iraqis to achieve that.
We're at the lowest level now, Jeff. We're at the lowest level in Afghanistan that we have been at many years. We'll be down to about 4,000 troops in Afghanistan, and that will be when?
A couple months, sir.
Yeah, within a few months, a couple of months. As you know, in Syria, we're down to almost nothing, except we kept the oil. But we'll work out some kind of a deal with the Kurds on that. But we left, but we kept the oil, and we left the border. We said Turkey and Syria can take care of their own border. We don't have to do it, and that worked out very well. I remember when I did that, I was scorned by everybody. They said, this is terrible. Well, I did it. That's now 2 years ago. We did it with Mike Pence, went over and met with the various parties, and very successfully, and we removed our troops. Nobody was killed, nobody. And now they protect their own border like they have been for hundreds of years. And we've left. But we did keep a small force, and we kept the oil and we'll make a determination on that oil fairly soon.
And just one domestic question, sir. The Manhattan case about your taxes has now ruled that you do need to turn over your taxes. Do you have a reaction to that?
Well, the Supreme Court said if it's a fishing expedition, you don't have to do it. And this is a fishing expedition, but more importantly, this is a continuation of the witch hunt, the greatest witch hunt in history. There's never been anything like it, where people want to examine every deal you've ever done to see if they can find that there's a comma out of place. No president has ever had to go through this. The Supreme Court shouldn't have allowed this to happen, but no president has ever had to go through this. But what the Supreme Court did do is say, if it's a fishing expedition, my interpretation is essentially you don't have to do it. So we'll probably end up back in the Supreme Court. But this is just a continuation of the most hideous witch hunt in the history of our country. We beat Mueller. We won at every level in Washington, in D.C. We won at every level. So now what they do, they send it into New York. So now we have an all-Democrat state, all Democrats, and they send it into New York. This should never be allowed to happen to another president. This is a continuation of the most disgusting witch hunt in the history of our country. All it is. But the Supreme Court said fishing expedition. This is the ultimate fishing expedition. Nobody has anything. We don't do things wrong. But they'll say, let's go in and inspect every deal he's ever done. Let's get papers from 10 years, every paper, every deal he's ever signed. Maybe we can find where some lawyer made a mistake, where they didn't dot an I, where they didn't put a comma down someplace. And then we can do something. This is a disgrace, and this should never, ever be allowed to happen again. Right? Thank you very much.
Mr. President, on Navalny, the Russian opposition leader, he was hospitalized and they think he was poisoned. Is that the U.S. government's determination?
We haven't seen it yet. We're looking at it, and Mike's going to be reporting to me soon. Okay? Thank you very much, everybody.
Press, let's go. This way, please. Press, thank you. Guys, let's go. Press, we're moving. Let's go. Come on. Keep going, keep going.
All right, folks, thank you so much for joining us here at Golden State Times. If you guys liked our coverage of the president's meeting with the Iraqi prime minister, then make sure you guys share it on social media and give it a thumbs up. President Trump is delivering a speech later on today in Pennsylvania. It should be coming up on your screen. It's a rally that's not really a rally, but it's really a rally. I don't know what's going on with that, but it's a rally. Whether they like it or not, it's a rally. So if you guys want to join us, the link to the video, to the live stream, should be at the top of the comments, or it should also be coming up on your screen. Thank you so much, folks, for joining us here at Golden State Times, and we hope to see you guys here very soon. Peace. Also, don't forget to follow us on Twitter at Gold State Times.